Leo.
Hello Libra, this is your forecast for February 2015, and we're looking at a quite harmonious month, and I think that's going to give a lot of you a break from all the challenges that 2014 could have brought your way. The transits are very harmonious for the most part this entire month, and we have a lot of creative energies now also opening up, so this is great. The new moon and full moon, let's start off with them here. The full moon, February 3rd, is lighting up here in your first house, Leo. And it is in your sign. So you're going to feel it extra strong. And the full moon here this month is carrying a couple of aspects to it, which you're absolutely going to love. It is trining, that's a beautiful golden trine, golden ray from Uranus, which is going to bring about some unexpected surprises your way. And that Uranus is in the 9th house for long distance travel. So you might just figure out something that you would like to do. The full moon is in your sign this month, Leo, so you're going to feel it extra strong more than everybody else. It's going to bring everything of the heart up to the forefront, and it has a couple of unexpected surprises tagged along with it. This full moon has a golden trine to Uranus, which is actually up there in your 9th house for foreign countries, people, and places. So there might be unexpected news coming to you from somebody from afar, or it might be you that are going to surprise somebody, or maybe you're going to have some travel plans. And let me tell you why I say that too, because not only does the 9th house rule over long distance travel, but this full moon, within those first few hours of its fullness, it's going to be transiting straight across, doing the dance with Jupiter, and Jupiter rules long distance travel as well. It is the ruler of that 9th house. So you can see that something's going to come together for you. You're going to be totally excited because Uranus is always very excitable. And so I believe that here on the 3rd, you're going to be very, very happy. Now, the new moon, where is when we put down our intentions, that's going to be in the very last degree of Aquarius, which is going to be in your 7th house for committed relationships. So you might see how this area here on the 18th is going to bring some situation to light. There might be a communication or some talk here that's going to clear things, but not only that, but it's also new beginnings, right? So your intention for this month would be that you want to focus on what these relationships mean to you. The 7th house is any relationship. It's not just with your significant other or spouse, but anybody you work with one-on-one. So you want to become clear on what's important to you, and the new moon is in Aquarius, which has a little bit more of a detached manner, whereas Leo is very attached, very close, very personal. Aquarius is detached, and so the new moon for you might have you look at how attached and disattached are you in your interactions with people. So you will come to see how that's going to become very, very clear. And since it's that last degree in Aquarius, it means that you have now evolved through a cycle of learning what detachment can do for you. That doesn't mean non-caring. It just means how much are you supposed to carry as opposed to your partner, and what can you detach from, allowing the partner or people around you to carry their fair share of it. The 7th house are the scales. It's the Libra house. Are you carrying too much, taking too much responsibility? Have you been doing too little? It's you adjusting yourself, and the evolution of going through all the degrees in this relationship house to this very last degree. You're going to become very clear. You're going to see things differently, and from it you're going to make some choices, and whatever that choice is, that clarity that comes upon you is, that's where you're going to put down your new moon intention and say, this is how I feel good about it. Here's my balance. And this is what I'm going to carry as I proceed into the coming months throughout the year. So that's good. It's a very, should I say, therapeutic way to adjust yourself. Now, we have also Mercury retrograde until the 11th or 12th, depending on where you live in the world. So we got a couple of Mercury aspects this month. Some under retrograde, some after. We're going to go through that. We have Jupiter still retrograde until April. So that full moon is going to touch upon Jupiter, which is very, very abundant and giving and gracious. But even though she's retrograde, she's still going to be good to you. All right. Now listen, first of the month, February 1st, we have Venus and Neptune conjunct, meaning that they are side by side sharing the same degree in your chart. And Venus being love and romance, and Neptune the higher octave of Venus, well, that makes it just even more romantic, more like I'd say cosmically romantic, because it's so spiritually felt too. But these two energies together are very artsy and creative. It's the artist's dream aspects to have. Whatever you initiate here, February 1st will, like a new moon can eclipse things, not eclipse, but initiate things for time to come. Any conjunction is all about initiation. So you're starting off something new here on the 1st, and if you are aware, you can take this energy and it will carry you until Venus meets Neptune next year. So just like a new moon can carry you forward with your intentions, this Venus too is like an intention. So whether you're using it for the romantic end of it, to be idealistic, to reach for those highest goals, could be it. It could also just be you wanting to initiate now a new cycle with your creative side, your artistic side, music, arts, paint, sculpting, whatever it is for you, dancing. You'll know what works for you. But that's February 1st, so that is very, very important. Then we have February 2nd, the Sun and Uranus, they're sextile. That's like a half of those beautiful golden trines, so it still holds a lot of that power. And the Sun is you, and Uranus is that unexpected. And the Sun being in the 7th house for partnerships or people you relate to closely one-on-one, that Uranian factor coming in where the surprises coming from or going to is the 9th house. Once again, it has to do with foreign places, people, or countries. It could also be within whatever you're researching, looking into, studying, higher education, publishing. For those of you who are writers, this would be a great day to either submit or also receive some information, perhaps. But then on the 5th, here we go, where we need to be a little careful. We want to pay attention though, because the communication on this day is potent. Okay, it's Mercury and Saturn. When I say potent, Saturn wants to secure something, and that is a good thing. So you want to listen, you want to negotiate perhaps, communicate about whatever this is, especially if it is a contract or an offer. But then Mercury being retrograde, it's not a good time to sign, and you might feel a little apprehensive about that here because it being retrograde, the Sun is also opposite Jupiter, so you might be vacillating. Should I or should I not do? And it's hard to be in that because Jupiter always wants to act. It's big, and the Sun is there. But don't worry though. If you can set it off just a little bit, you will feel better. On the 8th already, I feel that there's some news coming in pertaining to those values that are important to you creatively. The Venetian principle here, the things that you create dynamically. here with Pluto, which is very transformative and powerful. You know, Pluto can transform that whole aspect of Venus, and this too is a harmonious aspect. So whether the intensity lies in how you relate within your relationship, that could be it, because Venus is love. But it could also be something related to money, which Venus also rules. In fact, Pluto also can rule money. Whatever it is, you're going to have to see how it's going to play out for you. But I see it could be actually a little bit of both, to be honest, because Venus is also here in the area of the 8th house, which rules mutual resources, money that you share with a partner or a group, or it could be dividends from your investments, for example, too. And it's in the house of Scorpio, which Pluto rules. So there's a double whammy right there. Having Venus in that area is a Venus-Pluto in itself. Then you have the aspect of Pluto. So whatever this is, pay attention, because you have the potential to be able to grow your financial situation much better if you notice this aspect. Aspects can come and go so quickly that, you know, we might not catch it before way down the road. It's like, darn it, I did hear about something, but I didn't look into it. But that's what retrogrades are good for. It can bring that situation back down the road. But hey, listen, the 19th, remember we talked about this talk, or maybe this offer coming in on the 5th, where Saturn's wanting to do something significant for you. Now Mercury is going direct again, and it has turned, and it's passing over that very same degree that it did on the 5th, but now it's moving forward. It has been direct here at least nearly a week. So this would be a good day to schedule, to have the talk, to sign whatever agreements if you need to. Not only that, but here on the 19th, very same day, Mars is changing signs. It's moving out of this area here of the 8th house and into the 9th house. And the following day on the 20th, Venus is doing the same. Up till the 19th and 20th, both Venus and Mars, along with Neptune, is going to be in that 8th house for intimacy. There's also you looking over your financial situation, figuring out how you can improve it. You might be looking at, you know, commissions, royalties, whatnot. But here on the 19th and 20th, Venus and Mars both are going to go into that 9th house, where they're going to remain not just the rest of February, but into March as well. And if you're thinking about any long-term or long-distance travel, this would be an excellent time to do so. It doesn't have to be on these dates. This is just when the focus is shifting. But it could be the time to go get those tickets. We saw that full moon there on the 3rd, where something was formulating in your mind. So maybe you made plans there on the 3rd. Maybe now is the time to go get the tickets or travel. But you're going to see here, you're going to love it too when Venus and Mars goes in the 9th house, because it's such an optimistic area of your chart. It's ruled by Sagittarius, so you're going to get that flavor of how it feels to have that Sagittarian energy. But it's also in the sign of Aries, so that's fire, and it's initiatives being taken, and it's also very entrepreneurial. So if you're wanting to start up something new, great time to do so. You get all that fire, and it is your sister sign. So all of this now is going to be training down to your Leo, and you're going to love that as they interact. We have on the 22nd, Venus is going to catch up to Mars. So now they're conjunct, meaning they're sharing that very same degree in your chart in this 9th house area. And for those of you who are in a relationship, you might just decide to go do something special together. If you're single, well, it's a great time to meet somebody new. And the area for where you could meet somebody would be in a ninth house situation, which has to do with education. Maybe you can meet somebody new if you're going to start up a new class. Or also when you're traveling, you can come to meet somebody. But it's also a time for you, if you, for example, are a writer, well, this area rules publishers. So it's a time for you to send things out, or perhaps you've already done that and you're waiting to hear back. Great time around the 22nd under this conjunction. Then we have the 23rd, a little apprehension, kind of like, do I do this or that? If in doubt, don't do anything. Just allow yourself to be the observer of the situation that's going on. Saturn here is squaring upon the Sun, or should I say the Sun squaring upon Saturn, and Saturn for you is in the 5th house. That has to do with your self-expression or creativity. And the Sun at that point here now will be just entering into Pisces, having entered into Pisces. So that's your 8th house. So the apprehension might just be, where do you want to place your money? Do you want to do this or that? So hold back a little bit, because you're going to catch your flow, Leo, here. Trust me, 24th and 26th, both first Venus, then Mars, are going to be trining up to Saturn here in that 5th house. So whatever you were wondering about on the 23rd, you know, whether you should or shouldn't, you'll know where the green light is when it comes on here these following 2 days. And I feel you're going to lock something in. Saturn, see, is always looking out for you and your new lessons. And these lessons are going to be about your creativity, your self-expression, the business that you want to do, the projects that are your own, not necessarily what you're doing in your career for somebody else, but self-created projects. And this is where you're going to be growing over the next 2.5 years. And it's okay to look into what you want to do for you instead of always looking at what you do for others. Saturn now is asking you to actually look into this and start expressing it. So I feel like just like that initiation of new fused energy artistically on February 1st, well, around February 24th and 26th, then I see that you're kicking action into it, behind it, infusing it with all that good Aryan energy, whereas the planets are moving through the sign of Aries. So that leaves you here at the end of the month, Leo, with a beautiful Sun-Neptune conjunction. And that is you, and it is your higher understanding. It is your ideal picture, image, vision of those things that you're yearning and growing towards. And I see how this is going to leave you very open for impressions to bring in that higher inspiration, should I say. Great time to brainstorm new designs, new music, new art, that kind of thing on the 26th. So listen to what's going on with your partner this month and see where these beautiful transits are going to be hitting in for him or her, and do the same with your moon and your rising sign to see where they're going to express themselves. And I'll see you next month in March, Leo. Have a good one now.